Pain, yeah, it's running through your mind, baby. You can call me, I'll be there in a dime, baby. Any place, anywhere, anytime, baby. Please take me back to the things that we did. I know what I did, and she calling back. Girl, for what you did, just give me a kiss. Can you take me back? Will you take me back? Please take me back, baby. You take me back. Can you take me back? Please take me back, baby. Baby, look me in my eyes. Tell me why the hell you lied. You say that you feeling me. Well, babe, keep it real with me. Ain't nobody on the side, just me and you. Ain't gonna do you wrong, ain't no reason to. Don't know how to feel when I'm seeing you. I'm driving fast to you. Make a nigga spin his bag on you. Do anything you ask me to. At the end, I'll be here for you. Baby, it's all for you. Please take me back to the things that we did. I know what I did, and she calling back. Girl, for what you did, just give me a kiss. Can you take me back? Will you take me back? Please take me back, baby. You take me back. Can you take me back? Please take me back, baby. You take me back. Can you take me back? Can you take me back, baby? You take me back. Can you take me back? Can you take me back, baby? You take me back. Can you take me back? Can you take me back, baby?
Hey, how's everybody doing this morning? Hope everybody's good. All right. How's the sound? I plugged up my microphone. I'm trying to go pro. Yeah, it. Cher, thank you so much for your contribution, Queen. You know it means the world to me. She gifted one Benny Keys membership. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hey, Brooke. Let's go down through the roll call real quick. Angel P, what's up, baby? Angie's Life, Act Right. Thank you for sending 2 jewels, baby. Flossie, Flosser's son. Who else we got? Chica, Miss T, Lil Dev, Flies, Lisa Thompson, Eve Hickman. Hey, baby. Dragon. Hello. Nana Kim. Hey, Miss Brooks. Anne Marie. Who else we got? The Real ICU. Nana Kim. Good to see you, Lil Dev. Been a long time, huh? Sounds good. Okay. Who else? Remain calm. She is the lady of the hour. Who else you got here? Lori. Good to see you, baby. Okay. Hey, rapper and Kyle. Oh, KCK. What's up, baby? Hope everybody's good. Yeah, if at any point there seems to be some audio issue, let me know. I'm trying to go legit. Anyways, we have our special guest in the background. Let's go ahead and bring her up. This is Remain Calm.
Hey,
good
Benny.
Afternoon, lovely. How you doing?
I am good. How are you?
You okay?
I am absolutely fine.
How's your weekend treating you?
Actually, really good. Been busy.
Good. Thank you, Crybaby. Let's go. So I guess if you want to jump right into it.
Where you want me to start?
I don't know if you've ever heard me use the term of Tarantino, kind of where he jumps from the back to the mid. We won't Tarantino this time. I want everyone to certainly get a true north and south of the situation, because how I reached out to you initially was to I don't know if you've been watching anything we've been doing over here. A lot of people don't. Some people do. I'm not so naive to think that somewhere throughout the course of this thing, hey, Courtney, that I may have gotten some things inaccurate. And I know realistically we're not going to be able to cover all the things, but I think to really shine light on sort of the high notes of this whole thing, because I find it very odd that Pam, preface it by saying Pam has, over the past 6 years or so, I have literally seen her all over the internet in chats galore, and she just has the worst things to say about me. And I'm going to say that I don't know why. However, everyone's opinion of someone else is really not our business, right? So I understand that she's a very cantankerous person, and in that if you, hey, Cher, in that if you're not one of these weirdos she prefers to hang around with, then she's just, got a mouthful to say about you. So let's start at the beginning. How long have you lived across the street from Pam?
I believe like 12, 13 years now, something like that.
And at what time was it announced to you that she lived there?
I already knew she lived there because my daughter actually lived in this house that I live in before I did. And my daughter knew of her because she lived across the street.
Now, what was that association with your daughter and Pam? What was that, amicable? What did that look
it
like?
was kind of from what I remember of it, she would get things off of like Facebook Marketplace and then I guess resell them because she was selling my daughter like bags of clothes and stuff for my granddaughter, stuff like that.
Okay.
It wasn't a hang out, you're my buddy type of situation at all.
Gotcha. So if you can remember, if not, I get it. We're all getting older and my memory is certainly not what it was. What year do you think you started to have even the most minimal contact with Pam, Miss Mary?
Probably, well, it was when I started living here. I already knew who she was because of my daughter and her living across the street.
Okay.
So if the situation was a few individuals getting together, walking down to the gas station, getting a soda, hanging out, she was into the Delphi case. Where I have to be careful is I've always tried not to say something that can be used in a court of law against me. So
absolutely.
I always tread very lightly on what I talk about, but so if I say something, it's because it's the truth.
That's it. Sure. And that's, telling the truth cannot be held against you in a court of law.
Now, I did watch your live about the Facebook post with the boy in the pool. So I knew nothing about that stuff at all. The only look, I mean, I feel like
go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, the thing about it is, there's been a lot of weird things. And I say people get there when they get there, and there's people starting to get there now. Even though
everybody moves at different rates towards the finish line.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So anyhow, she started not liking me. If I don't want to be friends with somebody, I'm a grown adult. I don't have to be friends with somebody. When she found out that I, was covering Summerwell's case or whatever, she didn't like that very much. So not only had I gotten restraining orders against her and actually went to court, she keeps on poking the bear. Now, I've adapted to the harassment over the years. When it got bad is when she verbally attacked my granddaughter, basically. And I said, no, you're not going to do that. You're not going to mess with my family. You're not going to mess with my grandkids. Bottom line to it. So, it kind of died down there a little bit. What upset me was that she was taking things that happened and she was adding children in the mix. Okay. I talked about a white van. Let's just get it out there. This is the truth. At some point in time, there was a individual parked on my street that had a Tennessee license plate. Okay. And don't know who it was. didn't stalk it out or take pictures or anything like that. And there was also an incident with a white van. Okay. And the only reason I knew about the white van is because I heard it coming around the corner. It was moving very quickly. But anywho, I seen Prayer Garden posted something on her Facebook that said that I had said that the white van there was a little girl or something to do with a little girl. And let me tell you why that upset me is because don't take something and add a child to the mix when there wasn't a child added to the mix to start with. So I felt that she did say that to Prayer Garden, because why would Prayer Garden add that in there? So I don't know. That upset me. Okay.
Okay.
I'm like, why are you adding children to these circumstances? Also, she had, I cannot say that these words came out of her mouth. It was told to me that she had made a phone call early one morning and stated that the night before I had screamed across the street at her that she had a child's remains in her backyard. I mean, this is crazy stuff, Benny. It's crazy stuff. So I'm like,
let me ask you this, and I don't mean to interrupt, because I understand for me now, for a lot of people, they already know all of these things, or they know some of these things.
Right.
To me, I'm like a mushroom. I've been kept in the dark and fed bullshit. Right.
Right.
So.
Right.
The white van, chronologically, how does that fit? Now, this is one of the first instances with Pam, is this white van stuff. Am I correct?
What do you mean, instance of wise?
Well, she finds out you're covering Summer Wells, and then let's talk about that really quick, and then we'll move forward to the white van. So she finds out you're covering Summer Wells. Meanwhile, she's already been here covering Summer Wells as well.
Yeah, because she was on Prayer Garden's channel and stuff. So,
okay, so
she was already out there.
So this is like actually like a lottery odd deal. Like, because I'm not going to lie, I had passed it off like, and shame on me, I had passed it off like there's no way these two gals didn't know. Like, I felt like, oh, they had to have started together. But I'm completely
absolutely
open
not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No. I started covering Summer's case because I've always covered trafficking and missing children. It's something I've done for a very, very long time. So it was nothing new to me. Where she had a problem is that I had not talked to her in years and years and years. Okay. And I started my YouTube channel, and Lisa Jeton, she says Lisa Jeton told her that I had a channel, and she didn't know at that time. I'm assuming, because she keeps saying that she didn't know that my channel was actually her neighbor.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Right.
Because of, these communities are so widespread and vast that, I think I was just being closed-minded or simple-minded when I thought there's just no way, so.
No, absolutely not.
All right. So.
Plus, I had previous restraining orders on her. So I'm not, I have no desire to even deal with that. Okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Now, enter in, and this may be a little Tarantino situation, but she's made statements that you may or may not have called ASPCA or animal control on hers. Is this a truism?
That is not true.
You did not call.
No, this is what happened. Let me tell you that story if you really want to know it.
I do.
She was in a habit of collecting neighborhood animals and calling the pound on them, right?
Okay.
And so one day the pound pulled up out there, and I noticed that there were animals being put in to the side of the truck. I walked over and I said, "Can I please see the cat that you put in there so I will know if it's one of mine or somebody in the neighborhood," right?
Uh-huh.
And come to find out, she was giving her own cats up. And the guy from the pound got pissed off because she didn't say, "These are my cats. I want to, I want you to take them," or whatever. She had, I don't know what she told him, but he was not happy about it. So
she wasn't forthcoming with the fact that these were her animals and she was just surrendering them.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
now the situation with the teacup 4-pound Chihuahua being out in sub-zero weather and unfed, how do you know? Oh, you didn't know about that?
No, that's the first time I'm hearing about that.
Okay. Yeah, there was some talk, and I believe it may have been over on Brooks there when she was talking to Pam last. There was some talk about her having left a dog out in the freezing cold and that it was unfed. She didn't deny this claim and then just sort of moved forward to, well, what do you feed a 4-pound Chihuahua? Like it was a very strange,
very strange conversation, right?
Yeah. And
absolutely.
So if someone asked me why I left my dog out in the freezing cold unfed, I'm like, what are you talking about? She didn't even do that. She, it was just like no comment, and then moving on to the next part of the conversation really solidified to me that she probably did. Right?
One thing I can say, I've never called animal control on her, nor have I called them on anybody else. So that's what I'm saying. She tells these stories, and then when someone confronts her about it, it's always, "Oh, remain calm, must have told him that," right? And I'm like, I don't even know half of what the girl's talking about. Not at all.
Has she ever used the seizure business against you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she did.
Now, what I find interesting with the whole seizure bit is the fact that pertinent conversations or dialogue that she's having or has had, and then question about it in present time. What I understand is she'll use the idea of the seizures to sort of lock away that information by saying, "Well, I've had a few seizures since then, I don't remember." But then she can go way back and bring forward information, and her recall is sharp, and she'll bring it forward, which also to me is a qualifier that she's using this. She's hiding behind the whole seat. Now, I'm not here to say she doesn't have seizures, but she definitely steps in front of that, or behind that rather. She steps behind it and uses it as a shield for why, or the reasoning why she doesn't remember things.
Well,
right?
This is the thing. I've always said, yes, she does have seizures. I've never taken that away from her.
Right.
At all. But the thing about it is, her recall, especially where it concerns me, is non-truths. And you tell people that you don't remember things and you forget things, but yet you want to come out like the last 12 years of Remain Calm's life. You can tell her whole story. That doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't to me. Like I see the flaw in the stone, right? And it takes me back. And then again, like I had no qualifier, right? And so when I deal with situations online, a lot of times I'm looking for a qualifier. I'm
Right.
looking for something that will give me a baseline on their truths, right?
Right.
And not knowing any of the lore about Pam, the qualifier for me is when she said that her sister got her arm hung up in a ring washer and then had a surgery and had some hardware put in her elbow, and that if she takes her sister across state lines, that the cremains, the ashes, they beep. And when I heard, yeah, kind of like it would at an airport, right? Like a metal, like there's a state line metal detector, and if she drives through some kind of way, the car doesn't beep, but her sister's ashes do. And I use that as a qualifier. But I had, when I found that qualifier for myself, my personal qualifier, I also, with the crazy exaggeration of this claim, I had to back myself up, Miss Mary, and say, whoa. There very well could be some mental illness here. Now, do you agree that there could very well be some mental illness here?
Well, I would think that there absolutely would be some, especially having seizures.
Right.
You know, when you have seizures for a number of years, it does affect you mentally, I would think. I mean, that's just me, though.
I think it would have to create some sort of drag or lag where just things, I hate to use the word drag, but a lag where things, all this synopsises aren't firing in the correct time or order or whatever. I get it.
Right.
Okay, so moving forward. At what time, and I'm gonna use this name in the context of seeing if you know who I'm talking about when I say this name.
Okay.
At what time did you become aware of Margaret?
Okay. This is the truth. People don't have to believe what I'm saying. And I'm going to say this, I never called freaking, animal control on her. I had no desire to deal with this lady. Let's get it straight.
This lady being Pam.
Right.
Okay.
So anyhow, the only thing I knew about the Margaret stuff was I was sitting here one day and I heard someone mowing my grass. This is a true story. Someone was mowing my grass. I had not had conversations with Pam Tate for a long, long time. I go outside and she's mowing my yard. Okay. And I know it sounds fucking weird. I know it. And she's like, I go out and I was like, what are you doing? And she said, well, Todd won't get upset. I'm not cutting it too short, right? And I was like, what are you doing? Well, it was, and, she told me about Margaret and what happened with the little girl. I know the story that she told me. She's told many other people, okay? The big problem with that was she keeps blaming me for other people knowing about it when she's the one who was telling these people about it.
Okay, so, now let's pause there really quick. Keep your train of thought. Let's pin it. Who is Margaret?
Margaret is the name of the little girl's mom.
There we go. Okay.
I never knew Margaret. Okay. I didn't even really know who was living over there or anything. That's how much that I took myself away from all that, her period, even her side of the street. I did not pay attention to what went on over there. So, one thing I can say is that, and I am not going to sit here and say she was guilty of doing it. I don't freaking know. I don't know. I only know what she has said. So, there was something written on a side door of the house that Margaret lived in. and that was Chomo. They actually took some spray. I don't know what they put it on there with, but it was very obvious when you looked in that direction. That was written on the side door. So, but I was never neighbors with them. I live across the street. So
would it be safe for you and I to agree that the information that Pam spits out about this alleged accusation, that there's a few to various different ways she's told the story?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you think the reasoning for there being different variations? Is that the mental illness, or is that, because don't get me wrong, she seems very lucid and poignant when she wants to be, but then there's other times where, in my opinion, I feel like she intertwines crazy comments potentially to look mentally ill, right?
Yeah,
Now,
that's what I've noticed. She kind of goes into these, you know, she goes on a roll, and within 3 or 4 minutes, she'll go from one thing to 3 or 4 other things, 3 or 4 other names, bringing out other people's names. It's really odd. It's like a manic type of state. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So at any time after having had first made contact with Pam, to let's set a marker at RO time when you're going to court to get an RO. If
Right.
any time within that span, do you remember seeing Margaret's daughter on the wander or in the neighborhood?
Never seen. I never laid eyes on Margaret's daughter at all. I did not. Margaret, this is the thing. Margaret moved in and very quickly moved out.
Did she?
I could not tell you how old the children were or what they looked like. Nothing like that. I really couldn't.
So now, so that I can logistically kind of get an ideal in my mind, Margaret was a direct side-by-side neighbor to Pam?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Let's kind of Tarantino back a little bit. At what point, after first making your first contact with Pam, at what time did you realize she probably wasn't the person for you?
Very quickly.
Very quickly.
Very quickly.
Okay. Now, during that time where you guys had an amicable line of dialogue, were there things ever said about children that were concerning to you?
My silence says a lot, right?
It does. And let me tell you this, Miss Mary, there's no pressure. If there's a question you don't want to answer, you can say, I'd rather not answer that, and we'll move on. And you're not going to be judged at all for not wanting to answer.
Well, that's what I was saying. I have to make sure that I keep
you're
myself
within the parameters.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Right. I do know that this happened. This is the truth. My daughter was telling me that I guess she had taken a picture of my granddaughter and put it on Facebook, and my daughter threw a fucking fit. And
so Pam takes a picture of your granddaughter.
Yeah.
Puts it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Is your granddaughter at that time? She wouldn't have been around.
No, I have 2 granddaughters. I have 2 different granddaughters.
Would she have been around the age of 5 when she took the picture and put it on Facebook?
No, that picture was my other daughter, and my granddaughter was just an infant. She was just little.
Oh, okay. And so in your mind, when you sort of kick all of that around about why she would have done that, what conclusion have you come to?
you know, this is sad, Benny, and I hope you understand what I'm saying, but there's that situation. There's many conclusions that I've came to, but I've had to even block her out, period, and not even let her in my mind, because she is just, you know, she's not somebody that I sit around and try to think about 24/7, because that's what she wants. That's what she wants from me.
And I am so appreciative of the fact that you were that you agreed and were willing to talk about this, because again, this is an issue. Now, don't get me wrong. In my mind's eye, while I'm looking at all these, you know, all of these names and all of these little circle avatars, I'm keeping track of who says what and when they say it to a certain degree, right?
Right.
Now, when I saw her, you know, and I can't say I watched her migrate into this corner of a community, not this, but into that corner of that community she's in, I just identified that she had migrated. And that's into that weird, sexually perverted corner of, you know, Andrew Hiltz, you know, so on and so forth, the usual suspects over there, right? I had identified, you know, and I'm not here to pressure you to speak one way or another about PG, but if you saw my broadcast yesterday, what I did was I went to PG's channel and I just randomly picked videos in her catalog, went to the AI diamond, asked it a question, and I just prompted it with the word assault. We had a somewhat difficult time finding videos where she didn't over and over consistently talk about SA or abuse of some sort. Now, you be able to go through my whole catalog and probably not find 3 or 2 where I've even used the word assault in it, right? I don't sit and obsess about these things. So when I see her over there doing X, Y, and Z, and then also remembering that about a month or 6 weeks ago, PG put out a video where there was a phone call and the voices had been pitched down low to sound like this. Well, I screen recorded the pertinent part that I wanted to talk about and then used PG's video. She knew or was alerted that I was using her video, and so she privated it.
Right.
Then what I did was I had a laugh, and then I just pulled up what I had already recorded and used it there. Now, I took the voices and I unpitched them, and the call was definitely PG and what sounded like Pam.
Right.
Now, are you aware of at any point or time you have firsthand knowledge that Pam has been involved in things behind the scenes that could potentially be very complicating for the information that we receive?
You know, I really can't answer that because I've not paid a lot of attention to what she says, period. And I know that sounds messed up because I know
it doesn't. It doesn't.
You know,
believe me.
Yeah. I've never paid that. See, this is all right. So I kind of I get off on a bad foot with people, especially when it comes to Pam Tate. So years back, PG come up on my panel and wanted to tell me what a great gal she was. Not PG, but Pam Tate. And that didn't last long. Okay. It was goodbye. See you later. And I kind of went after a couple other people that were associated with her. I'm like, I don't want to be around anybody who associates with her. Not only that, I have tried to stand by what I believe in as, okay, if you touch a child, I don't want you around me or my channel. Or if you are accused of touching a child, I do not want you around me or my channel. And So I've had to kind of go with that, just to keep them. Pam Tate, Lisa DeChon, and Beth Ann, they were this little triangle clique. And so a lot of what they were doing, I would hear about it, but I didn't know of it firsthand.
Okay,
so
let's pin the little triangle really quick, and then I'm going to move to that because I have some stuff pulled up. One question: have you seen this picture here that I have for a visual here?
Right.
You've seen this yesterday?
Yeah, when I watched. Yeah, I was watching. I watched it on your chat.
Okay. If it were at all possible for you to remove, now remember when I asked you a question about conversations and if they had ever had a topic of children, you said, I guess my silence probably says a lot.
Yeah.
Let's try for a second to remove that bias that you have with it. And it is a very, it's a rightful bias. How does this picture make you feel?
Man, I just have to agree that there's no way that boy can be mistaken for Poole at all.
Right.
And see, people don't realize, and I try to tell them, they think I've been lying this whole time. I don't know that lady. I don't know anything about her life or anything like that. And the only reason I knew about the touching of the little girl was because she told me herself.
Right.
She got all freaked out because she had told it to me. She found out I had a YouTube channel. She thought I was going to come out and say something about it. And so she went around and told everybody in the universe about it. And then she wanted to pin that on me. She talked about her children being taken away. And then says,
why? Incest. That came up in the conversation, right?
I didn't hear about the incest part, but it was something to do with abuse or something. And type of abuse.
She had said in some conversation she's had recently, she said that her children weren't taken away because of her or a man. So in my mind, if you were not responsible for why your children were taken and a man isn't responsible, I guess the tornado would be the only thing that could be responsible for taking your children away. Like, you know, if they're taken away because of something else, certainly CPS's mission statement is family reunification at all costs. Right. They're going to do, right. We see in a lot of these different cases, like Harmony, was it Montgomery? We see in these cases where children end up the victim of the finality victim of a parent who has had CPS dealings, and the children were left there. I mean, i.e. the Wells, right? Like, right. Children are because of the reunification mission statement of CPS or DCFS or whatever they call it in your locale. Children are then subjected to being entered back into the same house where the initial problem still lies, right? So I guess the one last comment that I want to say about this photo, and then we'll move on back to the triangle, is that the title absolutely, in my opinion, had nothing to do with the pool. And I'll tell you why, because, well, for instance, if I show this, right? If I show you this and then I set it down, or if I take a picture of this and I'm like, it stands to reason that unless I tell you it's for sale, it's not for sale, right? Like, we don't have to tell people things are for sale or not. And there's so many different instances with this lady that this, for me, is sort of like the topping on the cake, right? Like, right. There's no way you could ever quantify this as being something subtle or a mistake or a typo. If you realize now, and her commentary to this picture is that it auto corrected. If you understand today that back in 2016 that this thing was a typo, you change it right in that moment.
Right, exactly.
You don't wait 11 years to say, oh, that was a typo.
Right.
No, I'll make a community post, and I do it occasionally. I'll make a community post, and then I will go back and look, and I'll say, whoa, I left a word out. I will edit it right there on the spot an hour later or 30 minutes later or even 12 hours later. But I just make sure that that it's fixed moving forward.
Well, that's like her taking a picture of my house and claiming she took a picture of her fence. What people need to realize, and they don't think about, right? How would people know that it was my house? If she was taking a picture of her fence, how would they know that my house was also in that picture? Number one. Number two, if I thought that she was touching a child and law enforcement had not been, called, I would have called them. The situation with the little girl, law enforcement already was involved in that. So
before the situation at the hotel or with the situation with Margaret's daughter?
Margaret's daughter. Law enforcement had already been called on that.
And when you say called on that, is it an additional subsequent situation, or they had been called about the situation allegedly with Pam and the girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
With Pam and the girl, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. Now, let's move forward away from this. I think that, I fully, and each time that I look at it, I get yet another emotion, and it's time to probably just put that thing to bed. I think we all get it. There's probably no one here that thinks that that's a very benign or innocuous
well, and let me say this too, Benny. I can understand where people have whatever they want to think, they can think, but I tried to make them realize this is my real life. Right. I have been bullied and stalked by this woman for over a decade, many years. So when she started it on social media, it was like you guys, seriously, if you can't get where I'm coming from, I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, I'm just getting whammied by this girl all the time. And I know that she wants me to come out and talk about her all the time. I know that is what she wants. She has nothing on me that she can use.
Why do you think she wants that?
I don't, Benny, I'm telling you seriously.
Why do you think that
I do not know. I don't know. If I knew that, I wouldn't be going through this crap. For real. I wouldn't. Okay. There's no answers there.
I think that Janica, I don't know if you've read that comment. They would like to know, and this is where we are going to do a little Tarantinoing. They want to know if the situation with the girl in the hotel that Lisa J was involved in. Yeah. It wasn't clear because there's two girls, and so I'm reading between the lines.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. That was sick in itself. That whole situation was sickening, just sickening. I don't know a whole lot about that, and that's the honest to God's truth. That was disgusting and nasty, and the way that is spoke of when people talk about it is just disgusting to me. That whole thing was just disgusting.
Everybody who's a regular here, they know I have not spoken on the things that had, what was alleged to have occurred that day.
Right.
I won't play Pam saying what it was. I no. And I accidentally played where they talked about Margaret's daughter,
right,
having potentially maybe been given a bath by Pam.
No, that, as far as I know, that wasn't. I don't know anything about that.
Okay.
So I don't know if that, and I'm just being honest. I don't know if that story might have got twisted somewhere or, but no, this is the thing, Benny. Okay, so she's been inserted into the Summer Wells case. No big deal about that. But she drops things that it's like, what are you doing? First, so recently she came out and mentioned that she at some point lived in Arkansas, right? Then when she talked about, because I think she mentioned the white van, I'm not sure, but she talked about the color of her brother's truck. I'm like, why the things that she says are just like, I don't understand why she's saying those things. Is she saying them because she wants to feel important with her knowledge of the Summer Wells case, or you know, it's just blows my mind. Now, one thing I'm going to do, just to let you know, I am going to get my old phone. It's in, I've got it stored away in the bottom of my closet, and I can give you a date when the white van happened. I can give you a date off of that phone, because things transpired there that you know, I'll send you the date though, for sure.
Okay. One second.
But I have no desire to make things up about Pam Tate. Okay, you guys, I really don't.
She does a great job of that all on her own. Now,
she does.
Yes. To answer your question, and I don't know if you saw this yesterday or not, but so there is there's a syndrome, right? And understanding that humans are sponge-like creatures. We are susceptible to all sorts of syndromes. We can have many plethoras. It says here,
right.
Over-explaining syndrome. This is a compulsive communication habit, usually stems from anxiety, neurodivergence, or past trauma. It is an involuntary response when you provide excessive, unnecessary details to preemptively. If anyone doesn't know what preemptively means, it means before it occurred. It's like taking an aspirin or two before you go drink, knowing you're going to have a headache, right? Preemptively. You're taking action before there's a reaction, so to speak, right? So unnecessary details to preemptively defend decisions, avoid conflict, or to ensure you are perfectly understood. It can be one of these things, or it can be a mixture of all of these things. Now, you have the trauma response. We went through all of that. And then you have the fear of rejection, which in this community, I believe is a true issue. You have people that want to feel important, and that a lot of times they'll say anything in the moment to be accepted, to be, and later deal with the rejection as it naturally comes. So let's go back to this. I have a lot of questions. Moderators, cock them back. Lisa J, I was not even aware of Lisa J, who it was, but I got caught up very quickly about 3 days ago.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And for this, we'll just refer to her as Lisa J, so as we can't have any weird privacy stuff, right?
Right.
So Lisa J, I didn't know was Sassy Pants. And then Sassy Pants, who is Lisa J, is also Marie. And then clearly yesterday we got bombarded with trolls that were all, I am Pam.
Yeah, I've had that too, yeah.
Yeah, that isn't Pam Tate doing that. Pam Tate doesn't have the wherewithal to do that. If she did, she would have just created a whole new internet persona and moved forward from there. This is definitely Lisa J, in my opinion. I mean, I can't prove it, but
we gotta remember that, you know, no matter what, she's got. I used to get so frustrated because I would go into a chat that I wanted to just kick back and enjoy with people, and I would get comments like, why don't
Thank you, Rena. Thank you.
I would get comments like, why don't you leave and go stalk your neighbor? And I'm like, Dude, I don't stalk my neighbor. It's the other way around, and I'm not begging people to believe what I say. I can tell you that.
Give me 10 seconds. I have to refresh because I've lost my audio on the source video side. So give me 10 seconds.
Okay. So yeah, just to let you guys know, I have no desire to play stalky with anybody. I have a life. I really do.
Here we are. Now,
there you go.
Let's get back to the triangle. We pinned the triangle. Here we are in the triangle. That's Pam, Lisa J, and Beth Ann, right? Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. Now, but before we jump into that, I want to tell you my introduction to Sassy Pants. I was watching Brooks. Brooks had Pam up, and Sassy Pants comes in trying to derail. So right. I'm looking at, when you do the inlay chat and you can actually see the chat on the screen. And then there's also the dedicated YouTube chat. So there's essentially two chats. I see Sassy Pants on the inlaid chat, but then when I go to the YouTube chat, I don't see her there. And I automatically, if you've been doing this long enough, you already know what that is. She's got me blocked. I didn't even know who this lady was, never seen. Act right. Thank you so much for your contribution, Queen. You know it means the world to us. Thank you, Act. She has me blocked, and I don't even know for what reason. I've never said her name. At this point, I was still very brand new to the Pam stuff. And so what it appears to me is that there's still some level of communication or connection between Lisa J and Pam. Now, I can't imagine through all that we know about Lisa J now and all that we prospectively or potentially know about Pam, that there's why they haven't split. In my opinion, there's a much darker reason for why they're still together right now. And then maybe they're not together, but it certainly looks to me like they are. Now, we've seen in all the communities, there's sometimes this orchestrated drama where people act like they're not, but they really are. And then their behavior absolutely, it speaks volumes to the opposite, right? So going back to the triangle, we've got Lisa J, we've got Pam, and we've got Beth Ann. Now, Beth Ann is a new character that's been unlocked for me. Can you please tell me who Beth Ann is?
To be honest with you, I don't know a lot of Beth Ann because, see, they're all from over at Prayer Gardens community. And, I didn't really watch or pay attention to that stuff going on. Only because I felt a lot of it didn't have to do with Summer's case. It had to do with three people, weird relationship there. Beth, I don't know how to describe Beth Ann. I really don't. Okay. I think that.
But I guess you are the company that you keep, right?
Yeah. Okay, and also, I mean, they were doing things like sending me, too many videos with audio where there were conversations being had about me for hours and hours. I mean, it was really, yeah, absolutely. And I didn't even know Mama Bear, and I got an email from her saying, hey, I want to let you know that you have a stalker, and I think that it's very serious. And then she sent me an audio where she was speaking with Pam Tate, and Pam was saying a lot of things about not only me and my family, but a lot of people. So I became aware that this girl had been demeaning my character long before I even started a channel and came to YouTube. So,
okay. So let's dive in opposite of Beth Ann, because you don't have a lot of intel on her and I have zero. Jenica, thank you so much for your contribution.
Yeah, like I said,
it means the world to me.
Like I said, Prayer Garden really, and even with Pam Tate, Prayer Garden and those people that she associated with can tell you more about that girl than I ever even imagined. Some of the things that I am actually hearing now is new news to me. Because I never knew it. So
Okay. Now some of this that I'm going to read right here is completely conjecture, because I call it conjecture because it could be something as subtle as opinion, or it could be uneducated opinion. It could be a lot of different things. However, I'm a stickler, which is not my position on situations like abuse, things like that, even women's claims of being SA'd. I take a high road, right? When women come here and say they've been abused, I'm not here to pick and choose about who's been abused. I believe you, and then I move forward, right? When it comes to children, it's a very it's a ragtag sort of way I think about it, because you don't have children here telling their story like some women do, right? But you also have the complexity of, if there's never been any charges, convictions, and then subsequent registries, I'm not going to further the fact that somebody did this when I've not been told by police, DAs, prosecutors, so on and so registries, that this has happened, right? So we're going to take some of this as conjecture, and I think that we're all probably fairly hold on one second.
And let me say this. This is them all getting mad at each other. So this is stuff. Yes, this is stuff that they all knew about each other, and they were all good with it with each other until the fallout happened.
Okay. And I'm getting a little context here from Mama Bear. She's saying Beth Ann is or was part of Lisa J and PG's channel. Beth Ann is currently fighting stage 4. Prayers for her.
Yes, she is. Yeah.
She walked away from Lisa supposedly when the little girl issue came up, and they was on PG's panel.
Right.
Okay, that gives a little clarity.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of backing off Beth Ann a little bit. She's going through a lot right now. I'm not making up for the shit that happened prior at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's going through a lot right now.
Okay, let's get to this commentary right here. Now, I gave a short synopsis of what I thought this right here could be. If this were PG's official opinion, she would just read this, or she would just tell this narrative in her own voice. This is got an AI narration to it, and so that leads me to believe that someone else made it and gave it to her, or maybe it's on someone else's channel, and that like, for instance, I can make this whole thing look like on my channel like it is now, like it's not on a YouTube channel, but then when you zoom it out, you can completely see that it's on a YouTube channel, right? So I don't know, and that's not what I'm necessarily here for, but the originator of where this is from is telling, right? This story, in my opinion, comes from someone that has a firsthand knowledge of this situation, right? So it says, next thing we know, Lisa J, aka Sassy Pants, also Sassy Cat, also Marie, and probably a bunch of these Pam accounts, 20 or 30 from yesterday, is something something Candace and conversating about old times. Old times were living in a garage upon Don and Pam Wells' property in Arkansas many years before, where many children were being inappropriately handled. Lisa J was the mother of one of them children who was taken away by LE and CPS once someone cared enough to report what was going on upon that property. So the allegation is that this here, if you can see my mouse, this here was taking place to one of her children on Don and Pam's property. Do you know that to be a truism, in your opinion?
I know that I've never heard Lisa say that she lost her child because of that. I do know that, yes, Lisa lived in the shed on Dawn and Pam's property.
With children.
Yeah.
Okay.
With a child.
With
I don't know. Maybe other children were around that property at the time, but Lisa only had one child.
Okay. Okay. So this is verified information that Lisa J knows the Wells in that way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she does know the Wells, yes.
So
from years ago. From years ago.
And now, because of her knowledge of the Wells, let me ask you this. Does it seem strange that Lisa would be here so involved in all this almost 5 years later to the day, when she also has some of these other allegations involving her own children? Does that seem a little strange to you?
It all seems strange to me, because there's many individuals who are, doing the same thing, that have all lost their children.
Okay.
That continuously want to, berate other people who's lost their children. Right.
Correct.
So
and let's enter in really quick in this scenario. Where does Pam fit into the introduction to Lisa J?
I don't know.
Do you know? You don't know.
I do not know.
So you couldn't attest to if she knew Lisa J before Summer went missing? Probably not, right? That would be kind of a stretch to say that Pam knew Lisa J before Summer got gone, right? Or wouldn't it be?
I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing about it. There's so many individuals, and when they become players in whatever game that they're playing, you don't know who knew who and how long they knew each other. You really don't.
True.
I don't.
Facts.
I don't know.
Okay, let me find this comment really quick, because I have been sent an absolutely stunning comment that I have zero information about. It says Frances McWhirter had her children removed. She is Pam's daughter, who was married to Gregory McWhirter, the boogeyman, aka the boogeyman. Do you know about that?
No. That's Dawn's daughter. I thought that was Dawn's daughter.
Frances?
I thought, yeah.
See,
I don't know.
I
don't know. Me neither. See, this is the thing, Benny. She kept telling people that the only reason people knew about her children that were taken away was because I said something. I didn't even know she had kids. I had no idea that lady even had kids. Bottom line. For real. And so it's like
Mama Bear says when she asked Lisa J about why she was in this, she said she thought Candace would tell her since they all knew each other.
That is what I was told by Lisa also. I was told by Lisa that I'm not sure who the players were in all of it, but they knew Lisa lived in Arkansas. They knew Dawn and Candace was in Arkansas. There ended up being a meeting between Lisa and Candace at the church. There, from my understanding, this is what Lisa said, there was talk that they were going to hop a bus and take a trip down memory homeless lane and maybe do a little vigil for Summer in the park there. That never transpired. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It's all fun here. Says you can look up the Arkansas boogeyman. Justin did, and it's true what was going on at Pam Wells' house.
Yes,
Okay.
It's out there. It's out there. It definitely is.
Okay,
Definitely is.
I take your word for it. It's all fun, but I have production. Production is just doing a little research to vet it. Now, moving forward, we are Ellie and CPS once someone cared enough to report what was going on that property. Lisa J did not ever get her child back, and she lost other children to CPS after this, but I cannot answer as to why her future children were taken away because I do not know why. What I do know is Lisa J got in contact with an old friend of hers who is a registered SO at the time. She started corresponding with the Wells again.
There is a picture out there. There is a picture out there
of Lisa J and this RSO.
No, they're not together. It's a Facebook picture or something. Lisa had sent it to, I think, like Pam and Beth Ann. I'm not sure. And so when they started, having that tug of war over Prayer Garden's feelings, you know what I mean? Then that was put out. Now, the story that I got from that was the guy was in a mental hospital or something. Lisa would have to tell you about that guy. I really don't know anything about the dude.
It's all fun. To be fair, I think that PG has brought out some information. However, she completely orbits SA and abuse of children. Like, you can do a video or two about it, and then you can move on to other topics. That's the main staple. That's the meat to the meal every night, right? I mean, we did it yesterday where I just ran, and I don't know if you heard this or saw yesterday. We randomly went through PG's catalog and just picked videos, went to the AI diamond, the ask button, and put in the word assault. And I think I found 2 out of all the ones that I did where she didn't talk about SA or CA, and that the ones that she typically did not were cases where she talked about, like the Canada case or Sebastian Rogers, where she knew there was a possibility of people who don't watch her channel for SA Summer Wells stuff, potentially the Sebastian Rogers could spill over here and see it, and that she is capable of cleaning up her act and not running the same SA or CA shows that she typically does, right? We also understand that PG has some affinity for wanting the Wells CPS reports that have an SA connotation or allegation to them. She's already posted these things, and then subsequently, in rare fashion, or in typical fashion rather, she's removed it, right? She understands after she did it, it was wrong, right? So moving forward, we are registered SO at the time. Okay. Lisa J also called Pam and asked Pam to call LE to his hotel room for the mother and 3 children. Do you know anything about that?
That was a crap show. Candace was sitting on the steps at the hotel room. There was a woman and a few children that I guess their stay was up and they didn't have anywhere to go or something. Candace, just from what I remember, Candace had made a comment that she wishes that, she could have them in her room. She would definitely let them sleep there that night. But she made the mistake of letting everybody know at that time that Dawn slept in the nude. And so, that was taken as a whole different ball game, and they ended up calling law enforcement out there.
Gotcha. And for some reason, Lisa J, she wanted Pam to make the call. Do you have a comment on why Lisa J just didn't call the police herself? And I asked that question because of the situation with Beth Ann and Lisa J in the room, and then this thing happens with this little girl, this situation. And
yeah, you have to ask that also. I don't remember. I don't know for sure, but
because Lisa J didn't call the police on her own situation, she just
thank you. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, they gave the girl a bath and then popped up on PG's to tell the story, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So there's an issue there with, I don't know if Lisa J is afraid of the police, but it's strange how she would want Pam to call the police about these 3 kids allegedly in the room with Don and Candace, but not call the police on this girl in the hotel room that she witnessed herself, right?
From my understanding.
Okay. while Candace knowingly waited outside for law enforcement to show up. As we could clearly see, Candace had that mother and her children hiding upstairs while LE was there searching the room. Do you know anything about
true.
that? Okay, that's not true.
Yes, and I'm not a Candace fan, and Candace did not have them children hidden away anywhere.
Okay, so we potentially could use that inaccuracy as a qualifier for some of the other stuff, playing the devil's advocate, right?
Right.
Okay, so we know this because the mother and children came back down once Ellie left, and the mother passes Candace. You're okay. Okay, so moving forward.
Well, you have to remember, these are three individuals. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. It played on some.
These are three individuals, and this is my opinion. This is what I seen. They were all vying for Prayer Garden's attention. Okay. So the more that they could all, talk about each other, the Prayer Garden, winner took all, I guess. I'm not sure. But
in that, it's just they find this. Are you cool with PG or no?
I don't know her. I really don't.
Okay. It's some weird accolade to want to be revered there, right? Like to be in with PG, you also, and this is my opinion, this is not Miss Mary's, to be in that group of people, you have to constantly want to hear about potential essay of children. And right. I say potential because she continues to put it on these kids with no court telling her this is a truism, this is a fact, this happened, someone's been charged, convicted, indicted, and is now on the registry, right? Like that's
right.
You're putting it on Summer Wells, and we don't even know where she is to say that, right?
Right.
So moving forward, on to the next page. That is the same. Okay, let's move forward. Okay. Now there are some pages that I've left out because kind of scanning through them, I really wanted to get to this portion. And if at a later time I need to come back and show the first part, then we will. Also understanding, folks, that we may at some time, this video may be made private and then we'll move forward because that's what PG likes to do. She likes to put the stuff out. And then when there's scrutiny or criticism, she's going to remove them in real time. Extracting the information from our ability to cover it, right? So it says here, and we know Lisa J, Candace, and Don made plans to meet up together at one of the homeless soup kitchens, and they did. You know anything about that?
That, from my understanding, they met up at the church.
Okay. It seems that the mother and her children might have been with Don and Candace due to the fact that after the meetup with Lisa J,
no, I apologize. No. Okay. I never.
You don't know about that. Okay.
Well, I heard that they were trying to say that there was hours missing, and Lisa and Don and Candace had them in the car or something like that. But I don't know. That's all I heard. I don't know anything about that.
Do you know about this? We'll call it a return meeting. Do you know that? I mean, Lisa J has known these people way before Summer went missing. Now she's involved on just on a cyber or internet level. But at some point, Lisa J, she hops a bus to go back and meet Don and Candace again.
I never heard that she went back a second time. All I know about it is she met them at the church. They were giving them meals away or whatever at the church. Then this is what Lisa told me. They wanted her to go back to the hotel, and she would not go back to the hotel.
Okay. I do want to make a clarification really quick that Frances is allegedly Don and Pam's daughter. It is not Pam Tate's daughter. So
thank you.
If anyone got that confused,
I probably read it and looked
I may have done it. I don't even remember, but my one of my ladies behind the scenes here, she's clarifying that there was an inaccuracy. Now, what it says here is that there was potentially a meeting with Lisa J, Candace, Donald, and the mother of the 3 children. That would make 7, right? So, and let us remember that Lisa J had to take a bus, from what she said, to get to that soup kitchen. Seeing Don and Candace drive, why not meet up at a place closer to where Lisa J was staying? We can't know that. Something just does not sound right about any of this. And
you have to remember too, Benny, Don and Candace went back to an area that they frequented before. Okay.
Which could have been where the house and the shed were, potentially?
Yes, the same. My understanding, they all knew of that church. It was, in the same location area where they used to hang out when they were homeless together. And, that's why I said my understanding from what Lisa said that, it was supposed to be, Lisa was supposed to meet up with Candace so they could kind of take a walk down homeless memory lane, right? Go to all these different places that they remembered. And, that is what I was told.
Okay, I'm trying to find this comment really quick. It's from That Is Not Right. Okay. It says here, That Is Not Right. It says, flies on the coleslaw. Who does Tim work for? Don and Candace. Who does she work for? For Don and Candace gave up their rights to the boys to not be prosecuted. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. I have a comment on that, and it's not probably a widely popular comment, but Tennessee and a lot of jurisdictions, they do things different from the next. There's no set way like federally that everyone is supervised and they have to do it this way. But I tell you what, here in Texas, if there were the kind of allegations that were allegedly in that CPS paperwork, if that's the real paperwork or it is real paperwork, I have no way of quantifying if that paperwork was real, right? No one will, unless then I guess right? In my opinion, they've known about activities on that hill, whether it be drug stuff, abuse stuff, police coming for things between Don and Jose, gun stuff with Don, which he was on probation for, DUI stuff with Don, which he caught on a live stream. In my opinion, I cannot see any jurisdiction letting Don and Candace slide. I mean, they could take their kids and prosecute them. Why would they not prosecute the Wells and take their boys, right? I agree. I don't see them getting a get out of jail free card. Now, this is the other thing. CPS allegations are just that. They're allegations, right? It's like an indictment, right? An indictment is the lowest form of probable cause. Just because you're indicted by a grand jury, you could go on to be found not guilty. You could get a nolle of prosecution. You could get, charges dismissed, lowered, all sorts of things. So I can't for the life of me see how Hawkins County would allow them to have these sort of allegations, but just say, hey, if you give us the boys, then you're good to go. We're not going to file these charges. Thank you, Killer. Those type of allegations are the kind of allegations people get foreverdom in jail. Or when you hear someone in a situation like that, in terms of children, where you hear them get some ungodly amount of time, like 300 years plus 20, right? Or what 300 years plus a life sentence. I can't see them letting that go. And I'll tell you why, because you sort of already have this lenient standard that's been set with Brandon Lawson, right? And I think we're all fully aware that Ronnie Lawson was at least present, if not there was a special prosecutor in a special court. court was shut down that day, meaning that it wasn't an open public court proceeding, which to a certain degree, every court proceeding is open. It's one of the fundamentals in which criminal justice is set upon, that these are public hearings, the public being also the jury. There's just a lot going on, right? Thank you for joining us, Killer. So,
well, I quit beating my head against the wall on that because I couldn't understand how, of course there was an investigation into many different things. And if they were as horrific as what people are saying, then they need to take that up with the state of Tennessee, because they gave Don and Candace a, clear set of paperwork saying that not only were they cleared, but they were allowed to be around children. Okay. And paperwork speaks for itself. I mean, I could argue that every day, 24/7.
Absolutely. I caught a comment here that I believe it's been removed. Listen, we're not here to talk bad about my guest. We're not here to talk about other people who are commenting. Let's keep it on topic. We aren't talking about Remain Calm. We're talking about what Remain Calm knows in reference to Pam Tate. And now we've moved forward to this triangle. We have sort of excommunicated Beth Ann, because Remain Calm doesn't have a lot of information about Beth Ann, and we're not going to speculate. So let's all be adults. One time, you're going to make it. On the second time, you're going to have to watch from the sidelines. And I hate
this is the thing, and people keep bringing up that van. I cannot tell you what the van was doing. I can't tell you who was in it. I can only.
How about this, Miss Mary? For those, because I know we have new people here who haven't heard about the white van, why don't you just paraphrase that for the new people for me?
Because the only reason I even recognized the white van, I thought it was weird because of the, vehicle with the Tennessee tag sitting on my road, was because I was setting up my computer. I heard a car. I thought it was a car coming around the corner, going very fast. I looked out. It was a van. It stopped right in front of somebody's house. They literally came out the front door, and I went back to minding my own business. But I know what I seen. I seen a white van. I've said it. So I don't know why, if y'all want to know what the white van was about, you'll have to ask her. You have to ask her. I don't know. I don't know who the person, was from Tennessee. That's something y'all need to ask her.
Yeah, you're just identifying that there's a white van potentially involved with Pam's residence with a Tennessee license plate, and that's all you know.
Well, and granted, I mean, you know how people are, Benny. They're like, why didn't you go out there and take pictures of the car?
Right.
Why didn't you take pictures of the license plate? And I'm like, because I'm not dealing with that. I was not going to deal with that kind of stuff, for sure.
I don't think you're blocked, Mama Bear. I can see you. I'm not sure what's going on. If we've blocked Mama Bear, can we please unblock her? Flossie, you are a managing mod, so please, madam. Okay, let me see here. I've kind of lost my train.
I'm gonna grab me a cup of coffee real quick.
Okay, yeah, please do. I know, folks, that this is a lot to unpack. I'm just trying to get down to the brass tacks, right? And potentially correct any inaccuracies that I may have. We're moderating this a little stricter. Today is a little bit different. I'm not going to allow people to disrespect my guest. I'm not going to allow people today to derail with disrespect between commenter to commenter or creator to creator. If there's creators here being disrespected, we're not going to do that today. You could be blocked, but understanding that I will unblock anyone who is blocked today. I'm just not going to put up with it today. Oh, not blocked. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to put up with it today. This is not to, and no offense, I love y'all individually. I say it all the time. This is not to appease your feelings or any of that. This is to appease me today. This is to give me a grander understanding, also mixed with remain calm's experience with the situation, right? If you don't like it, please go find something else to watch. And I say that in the most Southern way possible, baby. Another Realm T, thank you for joining us. This is and you know, it is what it is. Today we're going to be a little trigger happy. I don't want nobody disrespected today, which is out of character for how we usually do it over here. We typically have such a good group of people, we don't have to moderate anything. But today, we're here for it, right? So,
well, I'm only going to tell the truth, what I know. I'm not going to make stuff up.
Your truth,
right? My truth, absolutely.
Okay, moving forward. So, were you connected to Pam when she initially starts her contact with Pam Wells?
No.
So you?
No, wait. You mean, did I know her then?
Did you? Well, were you? Did you have any sort of research or whatever connection you guys had where you were on speaking terms? Were you on speaking terms when that was initiated or?
Oh, no.
Okay. That was before you.
Yeah, I hadn't talked to her. I still don't talk to her, but I hadn't. When I became involved with the Summer Wells case, I did not know anything about her and her talking about the Summer Wells case. I really didn't, because I had not spoken with her for years.
Okay.
For years and years.
This is a little bit out of sequence with what we got going on. When did you find out about Summer's case, if you can remember? A roundabout.
Very quickly, within maybe a week or two.
Okay, so maybe end of June, 1st of July, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was before the boys went missing, I became aware of it. Or not, I'm sorry, not the boys went missing, before the boys were taken.
Okay.
And I only knew that.
Let's clarify.
Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. You got it.
No, I was just going to say, you know, researching trafficking and missing children cases and things like that, of course, it's going to pop up to me.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
So,
and logistically, you're not crazy far from it, you know? So, okay. Moving forward with that. Was there any knowledge of Pam and Pam's correspondence that you've ever heard about that was troubling? Like, so, and I asked that because there's allegations against Pam. There's allegations of Don and Pam and Lisa all on this property where things were happening to children. And I don't want to bury. Let
me say this, because you know, I do not like that lady, and someone else could probably answer the correspondence between her and Pam Wells, because I can't. I never followed anything that girl ever talked about. Okay. I never followed whatever she knew of Pam Wells. Nothing. I did not want to hear whatever she had to say. I didn't want to hear it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I also want to add to the whole CPS paperwork that I was just talking about. They gave Don towards the maximum they sentenced him to towards the maximum of the sentencing guidelines for the violation of his initial gun charge, right? So he picked up the flintlock. It was an illegal possession of a firearm, right? He could have the flintlock pistol, but can't have it in the glove box of the car. They come there to see about what's going on between Don and Jose. He gets caught with the flintlock in the car, picks up the charge, then the DUI, and the DUI was subsequently a violation of his probation. He was sentenced to somewhere in the maximum of the sentencing guideline for county time. He could have caught the chain and went straight to prison, right? Now, I say that to say they weren't playing with Don, right? If the police thought that there was, if this CPS paperwork, now, anytime there's this allegation, it's transferred to a prosecutor, a DA, and then handed down to a prosecutor. And then the police are all involved. So you got to understand, playing devil's advocate logically, you could hate Don and Candace, but you still have to rectify and justify in your mind how no charges were brought. Now, also understanding that very early on, Don made the comment that he's the one that turned his boys over because it wasn't a safe situation for them being there, right?
But you can understand why he said that too, right? You get.
Yeah, I get it. So moving forward, is there any truth that you know of to substantiate the fact that? So what I've heard was, and I've heard people say, saw people say, they heard it from their own mouth, that the only reason Pam was not charged with, and this was Pam that said it, the only reason she was not charged in anything in regards to the neighbor girl was because the girl wouldn't talk. Is that your understanding?
She was, from my understanding, and this is what she told me, the girl was too young to say what happened. And let me tell you guys something.
Thank you for your contribution, Alexandra. And yes, we will. So when we say Pam Wells, Don's ex, when we say Pam Tate, that is a YouTube commenter that has gotten way off involved. So thank you for asking for that clarification. You got the floor.
I forget what I was going to say.
Something I asked you if you knew anything about Pam's comment about the girl not.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
She stated that to me, that the girl was too young, and I can assure everybody that after I asked her to leave my property, she never came back. I never let her around my property again, nor had I seen her nor talked to her for a long, long time before she showed up over here that day to let me know about that. So I'm not sure why she felt the need that she needed to tell me that, but yeah, it didn't. No, that's disgusting to me. That stuff is disgusting to me.
Yeah, it is. What, in your opinion, what do you think the attraction or the draw for Pam Tate to be so involved with all of this SA nonsense? I don't want to say nonsense in terms of saying, I'm not downplaying it, discounting it, or making light of it. I mean, nonsense with all these people. Why would Pam be so involved with all of these RSOs and people who know RSOs and so on and so forth? What is the attraction to that? Why wouldn't she stay as far away from it as possible, like the rest of us good people?
Well, I mean, this is what I'm going to say. If I knew the answer to that, then that would put me hanging around with them messed up people, and I
Trying to
don't
get an
hang
understanding.
around with them. Right.
Gotcha.
I have not tried to understand none of it.
I
So,
just, for the life of me, I can't understand why people that have had allegations like these are hanging out with other people who are connected to Arkansas boogeymen, people that have lost their children. Pam's
right.
lost her children, all the things people think they've substantiated about Don and his deviancy. Like, I just can't understand why all these people, I understand now how these people find each other online, right? They have live streams and they just sexualize children. And the next thing you know, boom, there's a bunch of weirdos all together. Before I gave it a lot of thought, it was a phenomenon to me, right? Like, how does people like Pam find people like Andrew, or so on? And, you know, how do these people all find PG, who sits on her channel night after night after night talking about assault and SA of children? Like, I understand how it works now. And I think that individually, I can identify each individual's flaw in terms of being excited to talk about these things. And I understand as a whole I have a much more profound understanding of how and why these people are all together, right?
Yeah,
So,
I personally do not know how they all became acquainted with each other at all. When I first started conversing with Lisa J, I did not even know that she knew Pam Kate. I didn't know that.
hey,
And
Nick,
we kept having to assure people that conversations that we were having had nothing to do with Pam Tate. It was about homelessness and, you know, Lisa's life. She shared a lot with me about her life.
Yeah.
Now, this is the thing, though, her sharing the, you know, SA stuff and all of that. That was shared with her little crew, Prayer Garden, Pam, Beth Ann. That wasn't really shared with me. So I hear things that surprise me also. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, right?
Act Right, I think, has the comment of this topic, maybe the comment of the day. She says, how was she too young to talk? Right? I mean,
I do know Pam Tate said that the file was sitting on the prosecutor's desk or something. I heard her say that.
Yeah, I've heard her say that too.
Yeah. So
and how she would know that, because in other versions of the story, she says, "Oh, they just came to my trash can. We talked for a minute, and then I never heard nothing else." Clearly, she's had a subsequent interaction with law enforcement or the DA somewhere that said, "Hey, this thing has moved forward now," right? If they just came to the trash can and talked to you about it and nothing else, that's to suggest there was an incident.
Well, no,
and then
CPS, I thought was involved.
Okay.
CPS was involved as well as law enforcement. There was a conversation that I was just told that the girl was too young to be able to say anything. And just that statement alone disgusted me. And I didn't want that lady anywhere around me, period.
Gotcha. Okay. Now I'm gonna kind of give you some rope, and I'm gonna let you run, baby. Is there anything about Pam that you would want me to know? Understanding that even up till this moment, I don't know all of the lore, and that as we continue to peel back the layers of this onion, there's more and more things, like even you said, well, I didn't know about that, or there's a lot of
stuff I never heard before.
That would suggest that Pam is dug in pretty deep with all this business, right?
Yeah. I'm So I'm figuring that out.
Is there anything you would want me to know that you think I probably don't know? Also
Oh
understanding
gosh.
that you got to be careful what you say, but if you say it, I believe you wholeheartedly with ROs in place and all these things. That anything you tell me is the truth as you understand it. You're not fabricating something to make her look a certain way, because let me tell you what, she looked a certain way before you came here.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, she did. And I stayed away from it because I knew, um, I mean, I can get into my personal, restraining orders and all that stuff. And, you know, um, like I said, that got to be where when I wouldn't give her any attention with her nonsense, my family was brought into it, and then my granddaughters. And, if this doesn't speak for itself, my granddaughter hasn't been to my home in a number of years.
Because
Years.
of potentially Pam and her Facebook BS.
Well, no, not necessarily. Well, not necessarily Facebook BS, was because of the verbal assaults that my granddaughter, when she couldn't get at me, she started verbally attacking my family and my granddaughter. And it just kept going on and on and on. And I was to a point where I was done with it. I should be able to live my life at my own home without having to go outside and carry a freaking camera around with me to catch her doing her nonsense stuff. I said that in a court of law. I said that to a judge. I also told the judge, just to make people aware, this is how things went. When I was in the courtroom, I told the judge I should not have to walk out in my front yard and have someone scream across the street at me, go in your effing house, bitch, okay? And the minute I said that to the judge, he looked at her and she said she shouldn't have came around front. Does that describe what type of person she is?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a mention of Pam having had exposed her backside and mooning you. Is that true?
Oh hell, I don't know.
Okay.
Good thing I didn't see it. I'd be blind. I'd be blind right now.
Yeah, and if you pursued it, hey, she could be on the registry for this.
Now,
Indecent exposure.
I keep my front blinds closed. I got a nice backyard. I'll hang out there. I don't need to hang out front. I mean, seriously, over a decade, I've had to acclimate to the nonsense. And it's sad that I've had to do that. Then when, she had when doing it to me in real life had run its course, it was easy to pick up on social media when she learned I had a channel. So, she went on her little tour of Remain Calm lives across the street from me and taking a picture of my house. And my understanding is she also showed me and my daughter in my driveway. She showed my daughter's car. She showed my daughter's license plates while we were taking groceries out of the car and bringing them in the house. Okay. So people need to realize, when just because I don't come out and bash her everywhere, that I never did that, because I have to, when I go into a court of law, I am not going to have a judge look at me and say, I have proof you said this in a chat. I have proof you said this on a panel. I have proof. That is why I will only speak my truth. That is why. I'm.
Yeah, no, I get it. And when you are in the realms of the courtroom, the quickest way to not get your way is to be deceitful. Even
Right.
if your truth isn't becoming of yourself, right? Even if you tell them the
Right.
truth on yourself, right?
Right.
Who is Joey?
That's her boyfriend.
Is it just low hanging fruit or internet fodder that people try to say that that she is in a relationship with her son? That's not true, is it?
That's the first time I've heard that too.
'Cause
So
I've heard a number.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I don't know the guy enough.
Is he
to-
young?
No, he's not old, but he's not
Is he-
young either. I
What-
really couldn't tell you how old he is.
Okay.
I really don't check him out. I mean, she runs around, and I guess she's done it to more people than me, acted like everybody was after him, you know. Everybody wanted him or whatever. And you know, I can say that is far from the truth. So
You're right, Nick. This is like, have you felt, or do you still feel like you could have been a hostage to this woman in your own home?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm pretty sure could be watching your house as we speak.
Absolutely. She's mentioned having cameras. She continuously mentions having cameras. She also stated at one point that the cameras were set up for when I walked out my front door, she would get an alert to her phone to know that I'm leaving or coming back or whatever.
Hey, Skunk.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine, seeing how you're online with me, and she just was in the chat. She says it was why you keep blocking? Like, no, like, she knows we're doing this right now, and she knows you're here. I'm assuming she's probably sitting in the window watching. I mean, that wouldn't be too crazy.
last time, let me tell you this. She pushed me to the point where I played her own words and the crap that she was talking, and it was her own words, and she called the law on me. Law enforcement came knocking at my door. I was live playing her own words that she was saying about me, and yeah, she called the cops. So
Okay.
absolutely.
But
like I said, you know, it's been years that I've had to deal with this crap. What upsets me the most is she continuously acts like that, you know. I don't know. I can't, I can't answer it. I want to know what the end result is that she wants.
Right.
Because it's pretty sickening if somebody's pushing somebody to a point where they want attention that they know it's going to end up in a court of law, and it's not going to look too good on them, but yet they want attention so bad that that's the kind of attention that they'll want. That makes no sense to me.
No, and I think that it says a lot. She says that I guess an RO and then a subsequent renewal, she didn't even show up for, right?
The first two that I got, the judge gave me 2 years on each one. She says that she just gave them to me, that she didn't show up. She just gave them to me.
Well, I mean,
okay.
I think
whoever wants to believe that. The third time I went to court.
And she showed up on the third?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I think it's much easier to save face and just not show up when you know you're completely in the wrong, like we know Pam is.
She didn't have the third time. She didn't have no choice but to show up, because I finally researched a little bit, and in Indiana, if you have a restraining order against someone and they get one against you, it goes to court. It automatically goes to court. So the last time I had to deal with her and called the cops, they came out, and I said, hey, go over there and convince her that if I'm doing something wrong, for her to go file one against me. And she did. And that's what I wanted, because then it went to court.
Gotcha.
It went to court.
So you kind of played, you kind of played her, you dealt her the cards you wanted her to play.
Absolutely. And I've done that. I mean, I admit I've kind of thrown little niblets out there. Anytime she's got on somebody's panel and she wants to say my name 1,000 times, you know, hey, let her talk. It only benefits me in the long run.
Right, right.
Seriously. So,
well,
I mean,
we we're at the 2-hour mark. Is there? Let me ask you this: Do you know of any communications between Lisa Kay and Pam Tate?
Has to be.
Has to be. What makes
Has
you think
to be
that?
because Lisa Kay came up on my panel the very first time. I hadn't even really talked to Lisa Kay, never, you know, didn't really go there or whatever. And she made the comment that she's seen my house before she even knew who I was.
And that came in a private Facebook chat that Lisa Kay was a part of.
Yes, absolutely. So
have you ever been in fear for your safety in all of this? Legitimately?
Not really until she started with the social media stuff, because I can kind of contain things in my own home, the real life thing, because I keep myself aware of what's going on, you better believe it. But when it came to the things that she was saying on social media about me, and I don't know these people. I don't know none of these people. And you're giving them my house, what my house looks like, my address.
Your grandchildren.
My grandchildren, a layout of my property. Sure, it's intimidating. It absolutely is. Absolutely. So.
Huh. Well,
she does. Yeah, she knows when I come and go. I mean,
yeah, she's completely obsessed, I believe. She's absolutely obsessed with you.
Let me tell you, Benny, I've said this 1,000 times. I have nothing for anybody to be jealous over. I don't need anybody to be obsessed with me. And, I, not to even really talk about my husband and him dying of cancer. But this girl, not only she demeaned his character as well as mine, talking about that I unalived him with a substance, and just things, and she wants to call me cruel. Yeah. I mean, I haven't even touched on a fourth of it, but I'm not gonna, that's the thing. I'm not gonna bore people with shit that she's done to me for over a decade. It's what she's done to me since coming out on social media that there's definitely there's some laws being broken on that. And
that's right. Thank you for your contribution, Queen. Thank you very much.
So but when I say I don't know the lady, people can believe me or not. I don't know her. I've not wanted to know her. There's nothing that I want to know. Believe me, at all. At all. No desire. No desire.
Okay. Well, do you have anything to say in closing? Because I don't want to keep you all day. I know that you had a stream scheduled for 5, I believe, right?
No, 8. It's at 8.
Okay.
Yeah. Benny, it's just got to the point. Well, I'm glad people are getting there. You know what I mean? I'm glad people are finally getting there. And, people get there when they get there. And things are just really weird. Really weird. And I can't tell you if what she says means anything, because she'll say all these things and people will say, you did say this, and no, I didn't say that,
but she did, and it's all recorded everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, how can you even, look.
Pretty Sweet Pea. Thank you, lovely.
She does what she wants. She'll say what she wants. And then anytime that you go to defend yourself, it's like, okay, how am I going to handle this? Because the girl tells everybody that she has a health condition. And not only that, but she's also telling people that she has severe mental problems. So how do you handle that? How do you handle that? Because, Benny, you know as well as I do, people feel sorry for her because of those things.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what is said or what is done, that empathy factor takes over and the brain's not thinking, you know.
It's on cruise control. It's on autopilot.
Right.
Yes,
So,
yes.
But
Go ahead.
I do appreciate you letting me come up and having the conversation.
Absolutely.
For sure. I mean, I wish I could have told you more, but
no, I think that
I'm saying, I'm being truthful. People I don't care, people. I am not involved in any kid twiddling. Yes, my channel, I do talk about missing and exploited children and horrific things that happen to children. That's just real life things. But let me tell you, I don't do it because I get off on it. Okay. I do it because it's a horrific, evil thing happening in our world, and we need to keep our children safe one way or the other.
I believe that, I totally agree. I mean, you see all these other true crime channels that don't get involved with live streaming. They just statically pre-record, and they'll talk about whatever they want, and they don't get any blowback. They also don't answer any comments. They don't interact with the people. They just, they bring information. And I think that there's completely a responsible way to inform the public of cases and the dynamics and the details of cases. There's a way to do it responsibly, for sure. And then you step outside of that and it becomes something much larger, darker, and different. Right. So, I'm not here to say, and I also want to say this. I believe as a man I'm an activist, not an advocate. I don't have any formal training on how to deal with victims. I don't understand the complexities and traumas that victims go through. So it's not for me to be here obsessed with talking about these things. I find it very uncomfortable to even listen to a lot of things that SA victims go through. And so I certainly don't want to be the curator of that. Right.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess in closing, I want to give you an opportunity. I know you have your own platform, and I think that that's a great thing. On my platform, though, if I were, let's say theoretically, if I were to give you the opportunity and you were to accept the opportunity, is there anything you would want to say to Pam today?
Well, Benny, I've said it 1,000 times. The girl just needs to leave me alone. And I'm not saying that because I'm freaking scared of her. I am not afraid of anything with that girl. In my normal life, leave me be. Let me say this, she created her own monster. I did not create that monster. She created her own monster. And she needs to quit blaming me for her messed up mind. Right?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Quit putting it on me. I think that now that this has come out and people are more aware, that maybe they will start asking the right questions that personally I cannot answer.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure other people can answer those questions. So, like Lips, play it, Lips, whatever you have, play it. You talk to Benny. You know the girl more than I do. For real. Lips and Prayer Garden and Lisa, Beth Ann, all them people, they all know each other a hell of a lot better than I know any of them. I can tell you that. So, I mean, I don't know, but I can guarantee you if I saw anything inappropriate with a child, I would have called law enforcement myself. When I became aware of it, law enforcement had already been contacted. CPS was already involved. Where the case went after that, I don't know. You can only go by what she is saying for sure. For sure. That about the hotel and Candace and all that stuff. I only knew bits and pieces because of what Lisa had said to me. I was not involved in any of that, nor would I get involved in any of that. So, for sure. But, Benny, the thing about it is she keeps going around and she says it's like what she said to Mom, the horrible thing she said about me to Mama Bear. It's like she recorded it or something because she just keeps saying the same stuff over and over. Right. So I don't like her. I don't have to like her. I'm an adult and I am allowed to have a social media platform if I want it. I am allowed to talk about a missing little girl if I want to. Whatever information that girl thinks she has on the Summer Wells case, I know nothing about it because I never gave a crap what that girl knew about the Summer Wells case.
Right.
That's bad to say, but that's just being truthful.
Well, and we can, and it's perfectly acceptable and natural to when we're in our own lane. It's okay to just be caught up on what we're dealing with and researching right. and not really, I'm really bad about it. Like when I'm right. in my own lane, I don't see what people over here right. doing. I'm focused right. on what I got going on. So
right. Definitely, I mean, even when she talks about me, it's brought to my attention because I don't go where she goes. I don't give a crap what she says. Don't make me no never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's luckily I don't want to say I'm, mentally strong, but I'm mentally strong enough and have had enough that's went on in my life that I can take that bullshit and put it away, right?
Yeah.
Learn how to
put it.
Yeah. Learn how to adapt.
You're not going to lose sleep over it at nighttime, or
that depends on if she hears something and gets upset and decides she's going to scream at me from across the street, right? I was doing a live one time. Yeah. Actually, my mom reminded me of this, and she said, "Remember, you were doing a live one time, and she was screaming at you from across the street." I was like, "Damn, I forgot about that." There's just so many.
You can hear it.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Hey, it's nothing to hear me being called a whore at 1 o'clock in the morning,
Still to this day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The last instance, she called me a hoe. She'll sit in her house and holler shit at me.
Pam, get your shit together. You hear me?
The very first contact I have with Lisa K is her trashing RC wanting to strike her. That doesn't surprise me, Lips. Nothing surprises me. For real. I mean, it's been a crazy town for me, for sure. And let me tell you, these people who tell you, hey, this happened and this happened and this happened, they're not lying. They're not. Everybody knows she has went on a remain calm crusade.
Yeah, no, she's went on many crusades. In fact, I have actually been one of those people that, for whatever reason, I don't know what I ever did to Pam Tate, but I mean, since and I've got some confirmation from a researcher who is also an archivist. I had made the comment that I thought she had been running around the internet talking crap about me since the Cal City case, which is in 2019, 2020, early 2021. I remember seeing her way back then, and they said, yes, no, she was around even way back then. And so the lady is just, if she's nothing else, she's insatiable. Like she cannot, she has, she does not have ADHD. I can tell you that. When she focuses, she is hyper focused. Jackie, thank you so much for your contribution. I have not been spending her walking around money on Jordans. No. Anyways, remain calm.
Yeah. Okay, Benny. Holler at me if you ever need me again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining
sorry
us.
I couldn't answer all of it, but
no.
I did my best. And I would love to talk with you about Summer's case sometime.
Absolutely. We can sharpen swords, and maybe there's some things I know that you don't, and I'm sure there's things you know that I don't. And so we can just maybe we should try to put that together here on your channel before very much longer.
Okay, cool. That'll work.
All right. Thank you, Ms.
All
Mary.
right, thanks, Benny.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, so there we are. Thank you for being here, Miss Mary. You've neurodivergent. There you go. Again, I want to wait a few minutes. Thank you, Dutchie. I think this is a true testament to the kind of people that we thought or we used to think, because I no longer thought, I knew by looking at all the predator hunter stuff that there's predators all over the place, but to actually iron down, and then even with the Arctic fox stuff, you become very hip to the idea that these people are right next to you. They're in your chats, they're here or there, and that they sneak around and they do these things. Some of them are a lot more brazen than others. Auntie Sherry, thanks so much for your contribution, Queen. You know it means the world to me. I believe you, baby. You ain't even got to tell me twice. You did. I believe you. You're welcome, Miss Remain Calm. You are absolutely welcome. Let's see. I'm curious about the picture that I just sent you. Let me see. Let me look it up. Pam, you're more than welcome. And I find it very, very troubling that let's assume that all these accounts are you, and I believe you're a weirdo enough to do that. I also believe Lisa J is weird enough to do that. But I've given you my email. Like, why would you want to communicate privately with me and not take on the opportunity to contact me private? You want to talk publicly. Why not talk to me privately? Or why not come up here and all this effort you are expending doing all this stuff? You'll go talk to everybody else. Why you won't come talk to me? Why? Right? Thank you, Auntie Sherry. Love you, baby. Like, come talk, right? You've already, listen, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to trick you into saying some stuff you ain't already said? You've already said it all. If I'm inaccurate about some things, come and tell me. And guess what? I don't need you to necessarily, I'll give you the public forum since you want to do all of this public talking and riffraff stuff. Get in my email. Get in my email and tell me what I'm wrong about. If I'm wrong, I'll make the retraction, right? But all of this crazy, here's my email once again. You've been given it many times, and it ain't hard to find. Okay. No, she can't steamroll me, Izzy. She can't. So you are more than welcome. I know you're watching this as we speak, while also probably looking out your window and watching your camera on another host. You got a lot going on right now. You are not a thick book to read. You're a real easy book to read. And I can tell who you are by watching who you associate with. And that tells me a lot about them. I ain't no fool. And I certainly am not no dummy. You hear me? Like, I get it. I can tell you, all you people with the things you talk about publicly, I know I have a firm grasp on what it is y'all probably talking about privately. It is. So, yeah, Lurky, she said, Pam, put the binoculars down, baby. Let me see here. What do we got here? I see what you got. I see what you sent me, and I can see how you might think that. However, I am absolutely inclined to believe that the age enhancement photo is I mean, there's a science to it. There's a model, and they build around that. And I get what you're saying, though. 100%, 100%. And that's, good eye, right? I mean, that's what we need to this date, is still people that are keeping their eye out. We have every reason to believe. I have every reason to believe that she could be brought back whole and in good health, right? So, Pam, yeah, Jackie, 8292. I think that she realizes fully that karma is patient. Karma will wait 30 years, or karma will be in your backyard as soon as you get done doing some stuff. It'll be knocking on the front door. Yeah. So, yeah, I just, all of these things, these people are just, and what I'm thankful for, right, outside of Remain Calm and so many other people, Brooks, so on and forth, people that have brought attention to this matter. It never minds me if people in the chat don't like the people I'm talking about. I'm thankful for the awareness that these people have brought to the table. At the same time, I'm thankful to Pam. And people like, hold on, man, what you mean? You thankful for something Pam has done? Yeah, baby. I'm thankful that you have raised up your arm and identified yourself. Now, you one less we got to worry about. We don't have to try to identify. You are one less weirdo. We know. We can keep an eye on you now. We can keep our cyber internet eye on you while you got the binoculars out and you watching over there at Remain Calm. Girl, get your shit together. You hear me? Exploited Innocence says, I blocked her over 2 years ago, and I was watching Moving Tam because I wanted to hear what they had to say about Summer's case. But after RB and T said about, well, everything, I couldn't anymore. Lulu, thank you so much for the 2 jewels, baby. You know what I mean? The word to me. If I've missed anyone that has sent jewels, I apologize, because I have a chat going here on the iPad, and then I have it here, and it's just out of the eyesight to where if I missed your jewel, it doesn't pop up on the StreamYard side. So if I've missed your jewel, it isn't because I don't love you and appreciate you. It's just because I missed it. That's all. Let me see what I got here. I am Farm Girl. I know Brooks, and I talk to Brooks some weeks daily. And I can tell you this, that Brooks is one hell of a troll. Brooks will put on a masterclass. Brooks also knows how to get emotion out of people. She is an Olympic level gaslighter. These aren't bad things, right? You can gaslight someone into telling you what you want to hear. You hear me? So Brooks has many good traits. And again, like, I'm not going to chastise someone else for who they hang out with other than freaking Andrew and that regular group of usual suspects. Yeah, man, I'm side-eyeing y'all. You know, like Debo. When y'all leave, I'll be talking again. I'm going to be quiet. When you leave, I'll be talking again. Nah, you know me. That's not even my character. So, yeah, I like who I like, and I like who I like, even though maybe they've done some things or said some things I don't like, right? That's adulting, right? So, I guess Pam is Pam's just not up to it, right? She preferred to expend energy making sock accounts that get one comment in and then they're out of here. You know what I'm saying? So what Fleece say? I don't know about sending Jules, but I do know that my mechanic kicked me in mine. Sorry. Ah, man, I hate to hear that. I hate to hear it. I truly do. Man, I'm so thankful that I don't need that. Michelle, thank you. Well, yeah, Dutchie. Adulting is hard for many, and I respect that adulting is hard, and I don't expect everybody to be able to do it or do it like me. You know, Farm Girl, I think that a lot of people say a lot of things, and when it comes from weirdos, like I know a little something about a scenario lightly, what you're explaining, not exactly what you're saying, but lightly, and I think that, you know, come on, weirdos like that, weirdos be weirdoing, baby. You hear me? So, Miss T, thank you so much for your contribution, Queen. You know it means the world to me, baby. Let's go over here really quick, like, and let's where are we at here? Bear with me, baby. Ellie Mae, you show right, baby. Yeah, Fleece. Man, God, I hate a mechanic like I hate a dentist. Thank God I ain't needed neither one of them too many times in my life. Thank you, Miss T. Thank you. I guess let's do the roll call, the donation roll call, the contribution. Cher, thank you for gifting one Benny Keys membership. Crybaby, she's been a member for a month. Angel P, thank you for becoming a new member. Act Right, thank you for your contribution, Queen. Janica, thank you for your contribution. Alexandra, thank you for your contribution, Queen, and thank you for bringing that to my attention that maybe some people that don't know, it's hard to keep the Pam straight. So thank you for that. Jackie, thank you for your contribution, Queen. Auntie Sherry, as always, baby, thank you for your contribution. And Miss T, thank you for your contribution. So I guess we can fully understand. I get it. Pam is not going to come up and talk to me. And I think with that, you also understand that, well, in my opinion, that means something, right? It means something that she doesn't want to come up here and talk. And, you know, I'm respectful. I'm respectful of her boundaries. But at the same time, you know, running from it isn't, you know, that's not what's up. So I love all of y'all individually. Remember, the absence of evidence, not the evidence of absence. Okay. And y'all have a great weekend. I may be back later on. I sure haven't just decided what I'm going to do yet. I know that this internet, well, it's a cascade, it's a waterfall of information sometimes. So, yeah, y'all be easy.
I guess these niggas thought I wasn't coming. Think again and breathe slow. Cause panicking, you niggas gon' bleed more. And when the beef coming, half you niggas gon' be folding. I keep a magnum for you pussies, no Trojan. Blast off, you don't wanna see me running up in your shit, masked off. Catch me on the block, pockets fat, dressed in all red like I'm Santa. Finna pull up in the Fanta Gorilla, I'm finna send you some bananas. And your bitch give me good brain, she's a fast learner. Kidnap you in front of your house, smack you with the burner. Tell me where your niggas hide, no I might burn you. Don't wanna sing, I beat it out of you. I turn you, scream loud for me. Had a dream last night, Pop told me he was proud of me. I ain't never been fun of haters, young player, but they try to diss me like a tampon. I'm everywhere the bitch be. Sucker niggas better run from me. All that lame shit you niggas talking beyond me. When these boys saying that they won't beat out here in these cold streets like more than I keep a Tommy. The streets I run them. Sucker niggas better make peace before you motherfuckers let me off that leash, boy, cause I'm a raw dog, no condom. I'm so 415, stuff your ass in the trunk with them 415s, then blast on you niggas. Play with my chips, put that potato on the barrel, then lays in the grass on you niggas. Mama say I lost it, been drinking with Jason Voorhees and changing clothes in Michael Myers' closet. Then hits the car, kidnap you every month, torture you and make you bleed for 5 days just to show you how much of a bitch you are. On your head like a Kango. Do this shit like that shoot I seen from Django. Watch Django, she said that's a long day. Yeah, that bitch like 2 hours. She said, nah, boy, I'm talking about that day. Look what y'all started. Niggas out here playing games in the streets, now y'all targets. Turn your house to an award show. A bullet with your name on it, lights flash, and leave your mama with red car. It ain't over, but it's finna be. I leave as a legend, even to the ones that envy me. When I go, mix my embalming fluid with Hennessy, motherfucker.